Um, Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's live trading session and review of the week. Again, the image doesn't look the best on the screens, but I promise you it is me. You can probably hear that, but let's just talk about the markets a little bit. The link was a little bit slow getting out to you today, or it had gone missing for a short bit, so we're a little bit late starting, and currently about 6.5 minutes away from the opening bell. So as you'll see, the indices have traded off their highs of earlier. I think the Dow on Vantage went up to about 41,120 maybe. We're currently about 130 points below that level, and the DAX, which has been strong all week, traded up towards and above the 20,500 level, probably went up to about 535, maybe 540, and has come back off of those levels as well. So just looking at the US markets, or the futures, just before 5 or so minutes before the opening bell, the Nasdaq is strong again. It's been a week where technology has been particularly strong, so we've seen the Nasdaq rally up past that 20,000 level, setting a couple of new highs as it did so. Still looks as if it's going to be a stronger opening for Nasdaq again. But one of the worries when you see these heavily related technology moves, the worry is that the market has become very narrow again in terms of what's moving it. It's it's not a broad-based move higher that we're seeing. It's very much technology. Again, the big themes of the year in terms of AI. And it's the mega tech or mega cap tech stocks that are moving higher, and Apple, we've seen this week as well, set another couple of record highs. Some of it, not all of it, is focused on the interest rates, and we had a couple of interest rates that were reduced yesterday. The ECB reduced rates by 25 basis points and gave some good encouraging numbers in terms of inflation moving forward over the next couple of years. The Swiss Central Bank, which referred to some of the political uncertainty that we're seeing in Europe at the moment, it reduced interest rates by 50 basis points yesterday, so it was a bit bigger than expected. And of course, we've had CPI and PPI this week. Both the PPI number, which came in higher than expected, kind of dented people's expectations of what the interest rates will do in 2025, but the picture will become a lot clearer as we move into next week and the Fed decision. So we'll just bring up the now I'm reasonably exposed going into this opening bell, so I may need to drop off fairly quickly if we start to see some fairly rapid moves. I am long the Dow. I think 44,000, certainly the level on Vantage yesterday was reasonably well supported. We have dipped below it a couple of times over the last few minutes, been down to about 43,985, somewhere around those levels. Gold, as it was yesterday, came under a lot of pressure yesterday, still coming under pressure today. It's picked up off of its lows. I've bought a couple of times around 26.60 and sold those for 25 pips of profit. But the Dow is starting to trade a little bit higher now. So you can see we've come off of those lows here just a couple of minutes ago, around that 43,985 level. We've pushed all the way back up now to 44,000. And 25, and still would be optimistic of a decent lift into that opening bell. The markets have been quite choppy around the opening bell over the last couple of days. We've seen sort of 80 to 100 pips of a range fairly quickly. Initially that has been buying, but quickly followed by some selling. So we'll see how this one goes and see whether we can continue to hold on to these levels and hopefully push a little bit higher. There is, as always around this time of year, a lot of talk about a Santa or Christmas rally. Markets are at very stretched levels as we push up towards 44 and 45,000. So, I think this pullback probably helps the prospects of a rally into the new year, into Christmas and then the new year, in that new investors can come into the market and start to buy. I think as soon as we get back up to that 45,000 level and people start worrying about Trump's policies, the tariffs, what's going to happen to inflation over the short term, and then a Fed that is now, it's probably 50-50 whether they will reduce rates in January. They'll certainly do it next week, or that's the market expectation. It's sort of 99% assured. And we're getting a nice little choppy movement here coming into the opening bell. So we're less than a minute to open now. You can see futures are, trading quite aggressively between 44,020, and we'll just see how that goes on the opening bell. I am long above this level, so we'll just keep an eye on that as we get closer. So we're back up to 44,025. Less than 30 seconds now to go to the opening bell, so gone above 30. So hopefully we'll get a nice little jump into the bell. Not quite there, but just moved above the level that I am. So the market is open. Now the first move was lower today, so we'll just keep an eye on that as we go through here. We are slightly above the level that I'm long, but nothing that is going to warrant any profit taken at this point. The other market to keep an eye on certainly is gold, trading around 26.60 at the moment. It's hit off this level a few times, has been just that touch lower, but is looking to continue support around that sort of level. So, I've got a small profit on the Dow trade. It's fluctuating between 30 and 40, probably 20 and 40 at the moment. So we just see if we get a bit of an uplift there. Don't want to dive out too soon, but I'm also keen to keep some form of profit. A lot is going to depend this afternoon on whether we can hold on to this 44,000 level. It's, there's definitely a bit of selling pressure coming through. At the moment, you're seeing gold tick that little bit higher. But they're still buying. You can see how quickly it moves back up towards that 30 level. The DAX is holding firm around 20,480. But we are seeing a bit of a lift in gold just in case this market does fall away very, very quickly. Not keen on jumping into this market. Also, don't want to. Been a couple of occasions there where you could take a small profit on that Dow trade. Would have only been about 10 pips of a maximum, but obviously would have reduced some of the exposure going into this period. But for the time being, we're holding firm above the 44 level, although testing it, and we're not going anywhere on the upside. Now, it is a market this afternoon that is bereft of any data coming through. Got a bit of a lift now there, a move higher back up towards 25 and 30, and immediately goes back down to 44,015, probably a little bit lower. So we're trading very aggressively in a very tight range. We've probably not seen it move out of anywhere between 44,000 and 44,050. So a 50 pip trading range around the open here. So I'm just going to keep an eye on that. We'll look at the trades for this week, and then we'll make decisions on those trades as soon as I get back on Telegram. But for the time being, gold is lifting that little bit out. So we've got to move here. We'll just see where we get to. Again, you know, small profits there, maximum 7 or 8 pips, I think, to the upside there. It's moved lower again, so, you know, very, very choppy in this period. Nobody in control, the buyers and sellers, pretty much evening each other out at the moment. Moves towards 44,000. We're seeing buyers enter that market, whilst as soon as we get up to about 44,050, we're seeing some sellers come in as well. So like to close the trade if I can before we get on to looking at the trades for this week, but we're just a little bit away from being able to do that. So we're just moving back towards 50 again. I might just take something out on this just to lock it in. Yeah, so you'll see so I've just taken profit there for about 22 pips. There's a little bit more in that if you're still in the trade. Gold continuing to track that little bit higher. The DAX is trading around 20,500. So there is a bit more on that move now, trading up to 44,080. So we'll leave this now. We'll look at the trades for the week and then we'll come back and have a last look at the markets before we move on. So this Dow trade is now closed. So there's 3 trades open. One is Bitcoin, the other 2 are gold. It's been a difficult week. Started well Monday and Tuesday, I think. Yeah, so Monday and Tuesday. Well, Tuesday was the best day. Monday was a reasonable day. Horrible day on Wednesday. And then some late trading. Late trading on a few of these days caused difficulties. Monday should have been better than it was. Should have been closer to about 400 pips on Monday. Wednesday, the late trades, the closeouts there, saw a fairly big loss for Wednesday. Again, late trading yesterday caused the profit not to be as good as it should have been. And then today, just caught up in gold, didn't see quite the sell-off, looking for some buyers to come in and hopefully support that market. It certainly happened towards the end of the trading day yesterday. Ideally, I'm looking for something similar, if not a bit earlier today. But as it stands, up about 469 pips for the week. There's probably at least 200 pips worth of loss to come through on the remaining trades, so somewhere around the 270 pip mark. We've averaged 500 pips or so for the previous 3 weeks, so you know, still moving in the right direction. Hopefully, if the market doesn't have a Santa rally, hopefully I'll have one over the next week to 10 days, and we'll finish off the week in good form. I don't expect I'm going to do too much trading this afternoon. Want to make sure that I don't over risk, want to make sure that I still return a profit for this week. So we'll be limited in terms of the trades that I add to this. If we do drop below 44,000, you know, I'm probably interested in buying the Dow at these levels. So I'll close the trades down for this week. As always, if you have questions, please get back to me or Sam over the course of this afternoon, and I'll do my best to respond to those today. So gold has dropped off again. It's traded down there towards 26.58. There's every chance that I could think about buying gold again at these levels, but I'm going to need to keep a tight stop on it then, because I have 3 gold trades open. The only other trade I have open at the moment is Bitcoin. So just keep an eye on gold. I'll update you on Telegram as soon as I finish this session with any trades. We've traded up to 44,100, probably not quite as high as where we went to earlier this morning. The DAX is remaining firm, and gold continuing with that weakness. Hopefully going to see a bit of a pickup in gold, but I'll talk to you all on Telegram as I finish up here and we move on to the rest of the trading day. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will speak to you shortly on Telegram. Thank you.